Hello, today we have a VOD review on Oasis. It looks like a platinum Zenyatta. I've never seen this video before, so I'll be commenting in real time. So let's get into it. So looks like you're running, triple healer, 1 tank, and then 2 DPS, and the Junkrat. Let's run this to make sure that this is actually the comp. Oh, somebody switched. Okay, you got an Anna for the Mercy, and your Lucio switched. Okay, oh, wait. Okay, cool. So okay, this looks pretty good. So you have a Junkrat. This is interesting. So what I'm gonna suggest in the beginning of this match, because usually I'll start off my VOD reviews and I'll explain roughly how I want the how your team to be playing your composition. But because you got the Junkrat in here on a King of the Hill, you're gonna have to play it probably a little bit differently. So just to start off, kind of stay back, don't get hyper aggressive. As Zen, you generally want to be, safely behind your teammates, usually a good 30 to 40 meters, 40 being the maximum range of Harmony and Discord. So, but on King of the Hill maps, usually it's hard to do that. So you just want to stay like as far away as possible. It's usually like maybe 20 meters because of like the tight corners and whatnot. There are some exceptions, but okay. So stay back, and that's it for now. Okay.
This ain't horrible.
So okay, so like right there, you're already kind of in front of your tank line. So I'm not a huge fan of you peeking so close to that corner. If you're gonna peek like that, I'd like you to be further back. So like right here.
This ain't horrible.
So like you're going forward. There's no reason to do this. Just stay as far back to that wall behind you as possible. There's a tracer to your left. I heard a tracer. Oh, and a Winston.
What's sound left?
Where's that tracer? Left click. Ooh, nice left clicks.
Nice job.
There's that tracer. Look at the tracer. I keep hearing a tracer, but then I stop hearing her. There she is. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure why she didn't attack you. Someone must have been warding her off, but that needs to be partly your job. You need to turn around, discord her, give her, give her left clicks, right clicks, etc., etc. So I'm not quite sure why she wasn't being more aggressive onto you specifically. Harmony, good. Okay, so oh wow. So again, like right here, you kind of just like jump into this room, but there's no reason for you to do that. So like right here, there's tons of line of sight for you to work with. You could just stay kind of safely back and put out your harmonies and discord, so you don't have to like just jump into the room. But thankfully your team just seems to be outplaying your opponents, and your opponents seem to be kind of trickling in, so that's why you're not being punished for these mistakes. So again, you could have just stayed a little further back, let your tank line do the tanking. Good discord there. Nice. Cool. So I'd like you to go up onto that up here in this general area over here. You have a really good perspective to. I'm sorry about that. A really good perspective to be shooting people.
Peace be upon you.
And then if people come towards you, then you can just like back off. So you're a little bit too close. Again, I'd like you to be further back. So here's the problem, is that if a tracer comes around the long way, either on the right or to the left, she will start off right behind you. So she can get to that, to this little hallway that's behind you. And a good tracer can literally just kill you in one clip. So by the time you turn around and start shooting her, if she takes the time to properly flank you, she can kill you in one clip, or a clip and a melee. So it's really dangerous for you to be giving up that space. Whereas if you were further back, it's much easier to turn and see if she's coming from your sides as opposed to directly behind you. Okay, so there she is.
Right.
There she is.
Tracer
yes,
behind.
Exactly. So if she was a really good tracer, she would have crouched. She would have been more patient about how she approached you, and then she would have blinked into like almost melee range, killed you with like one clip, and then like a melee or something. And most maybe not at this level, tracers can't do that, but as you climb up, you're gonna notice that tracers, they'll get really close to you, like, I don't know, maybe like 7-8 meters roughly in that range. Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what the distance is, but, you know, very close to where she can get like her entire reticle, like to to be in your hitbox, or like to what am I trying to say? So that the entire reticle is within your hitbox, and she can kill you really, really fast. So let's back up a bit. So what's happening now? So you got a monkey on you.
Winston's obsessed with me.
Oh, he didn't.
Face behind.
Wait, what happened there?
Winston's obsessed with me.
Oh, you killed him. Nice. Nice. Oh, excellent.
Winston's obsessed with me. Face behind.
Experience tranquility.
Face behind. Nice job.
Cool. So right now, my biggest feedback is just your positioning. I'd like you to be further back. That's probably my only gripe so far. So let's keep this playing, see what happens.
Those were the good times.
I love the right
That
click.
junk.
Very good right click. I want to see more right clicks from you. It's like right now you could be charging up a right click. Okay, so I think I hear a soldier to your right. Oh, respect the Roadhog hook right there. Right there, you could have easily died if that Roadhog hooked you.
I'll push him right
Oh,
side.
that was so dangerous. So I need you to be a little bit more respectful. And this, again, comes down to your positioning. You need to be back up more. I love the right click. I love this right click. Okay, but... Okay. So, right there... Oh, and he missed his hook. So, this Winston shield was about to break or go away. So, I feel like you were depending on the shield a little bit too much. Oh, so right there, that scares me. And then he actually misses his hook right here. Actually, that might have been for Lucio, not for you. Oh, you are so not respecting that Roadhog.
You have him close, we just can't get him.
You have to respect that Roadhog a little bit more. Let your tank line go first. It feels like they're being a little bit timid here. But still, I'd like you to be behind your tanks more.
Oh my gosh. They're all pushing right side.
No, don't hit the left clicks. Okay, so you saved your ultimate. I'm happy with that.
I'm taking the objective.
I need you to be... I've never played on a controller before, but ideally I'd like you to be going back and forth, left and right more often.
Alright, yeah, just set something up here.
Because right now your movement's way too predictable. You're just kind of going back or forward, and you're not really, you know, using your strafing left and right very much. Good headshots, though. QQ. Oh, I think you could have used your ultimate there. I think you guys potentially could have turned that fight around.
Alright, let's hit it. Yeah.
Okay, you're getting aggressive. Oh, your Winston just died. Okay, this push is probably done. No! So, Transcendence against a Junkrat ultimate is useless. Similar to Deadeye, the Transcendence will do nothing against Junkrat and Deadeye. You're much better off killing the Tire and, you know, killing the McCree or whatever. So I'm not a big fan of that Transcendence. Transcendence is good for like Dragon Blades and things like that, where the damage isn't just instant.
Cool. Who's on? Junk.
Oh,
They rezzed.
man. Oh, you're so dead. So it would have been nice to have that Transcendence there, right? Instead of when you used it.
Check this out.
Oh, they just dropped the beat. Coming right side. Junk and Lucio.
Okay, so right here actually illustrates what I'd like from you. This is actually the perfect opportunity to talk about positioning. Okay, so Okay, now imagine if you play this entire fight where you are roughly in this area, roughly where you are now. Like, let's say from like this general area, like these steps, just this general area. Imagine if you stay here, and we'll kind of let this fight play out and kind of talk about it. So you still have all your teammates within range. So now you're going forward, and again, I'm not a fan of that. You still have teammates. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. You have teammates to your left. Oops, sorry. Let's go back. And you can still see all of them, and you could probably even see this Roadhog if you were like right here. Let me. So again, if you're by these steps, if you're like in this area, you could still have line of sight of that Roadhog who was over there to the left. So again, we'll let this play out. So you can see, you would still be able to see him from that angle. Instead, you go forward. But again, if you were by those steps, you could still see all your teammates. You could still attack this Lucio and this Junkrat, I think. Yeah, Junkrat and Lucio. And more importantly, and right now what they're doing is they're flanking your team and pushing you into a ball. If you had been by these steps, again, over here, if you had been over here, then they would be sandwiched, right? Like, it would be harder for them to push your team because now they'd be in between you and your front line. I think Hog and Winston and maybe someone else. So by doing this, you're letting them flank you however they want. Whereas if you were by these steps, they would be the ones who would have to, if they were going to go for this position, they'd have to sandwich themselves. So, and it would just be much easier to defend. It's much easier to defend when you kind of have like two, like a crossfire. So,
Coming right side.
so this is dangerous.
Lucio.
Yeah.
Junk got on top of me. Okay.
So right now I'd like you to go for the high ground. I'd like you to go for up here, right? Like this general area. So you're gonna have to go left. And actually, just one last note. So like, for instance, like this Junkrat spam, like if you were up on that high ground, like you wouldn't have to worry about this Junkrat spam. It would be much harder for him to hit you. And he'd have to choose between going for you up on the high ground, which is really hard for Junkrat, especially since there's no wall behind you, and also going for your teammates. Whereas if you're all kind of clumped up in this general area, it's much easier for him to just spam his left clicks onto the courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
Oh,
off.
good, nice. You disengaged. Excellent. I love this. I'm so happy that you did this. Very nice. And he's chasing you. Oh, that was so excellent. I'm very happy about that. We'll talk about that again at the end of the video. Oh, okay. I'm so happy with that. So, okay. Unfortunately, I have a lot of VODs to do today, so I'm probably gonna have to start to wrap this up. But I think I've seen enough of your gameplay to wrap up my commentary. So, first, let's talk about the things that you're good at. I want to talk about that thing you just did, the disengaging from that fight. That was a really high level play, and I'm not quite sure if like you recognize how awesome that was. That was probably like easily the best thing you've done this entire match. That's impressed me. So what you did was you recognized that the fight was over, and then you're like, well, I'm the last one alive. I might as well just bail. A lot of players, they would just keep fighting and just die. But instead, what you did was you ran away. It made them want to come fight, like that Junkrat, and you turned around and you just killed him. And I think you might have had help from someone, but I'm not quite sure. Regardless, you did a really good job to bait him and kill him. So you know, as you climb higher levels, plays like that are going to get you wins because you're going to be baiting the enemy into making mistakes, and and then like you're more likely to win that next fight, because usually in matches like this, like King of the Hill, whoever gets the last kill, especially if it was a really delayed kill, is going to have the advantage in the next fight. So that was actually really big that you got that bait. So you disengaged, they followed you, you got a kill, and now you're more likely to win that next fight. Obviously that's not what happened, but the more times you do stuff like that, the more likely you're gonna just win more matches. So yeah, so that was awesome. I like that game sense that you had to realize that you needed to back off. And it's not like a super sexy skill that people appreciate, but it's one that's really important that a lot of people in gold, platinum, even diamond, they don't recognize how important disengaging is. So really, really great. Your aim seems pretty good, like you're left clicking, especially for a controller. I feel like you have really good aim. I've done maybe like 4 or 5 console reviews, and I feel like your aim is above average for platinum. So you're probably like maybe like a diamond level in terms of like your aiming. I'm pretty happy with your use of harmonies and discords. You have pretty good uptime. I think you also do a pretty good job of like weaving your harmonies and discords in between your attacks. A lot of players do not do that. Even on PC, people are really like they kind of like go into shooting mode, and then they're like, okay, now I need to discord and heal people. More so the healing people part. So I want to commend you on that. Okay, now let's talk about your weaknesses. Your transcendence usage needs a lot of work. I need you to be thinking really critically about when to use your transcendence. So, think of all the variables. The most important variable is whether or not you're winning the fight. Try to look at the kill feed. If you guys are up on kills, so let's say you start off a fight and it's like it's maybe a 6v4. You guys got 2 kills. Let's say they start burning ultimates like attack visor or something, feel free to burn that ultimate, to burn your transcendence, or like a dragon blade. You absolutely need to keep your team alive to secure that win. On the other hand, if it's like a 4v6 because you guys just start off the fight with two deaths, then hold on to that transcendence. And then again, try to also think about what you're transcending against. If it's a high noon or a Junkrat ultimate, probably not the best use of transcendence. You're better off using it for like for attack visors, nano blades, or any dragon blade. Maybe graviton, assuming that the other team doesn't have an Ana, or that's actually graviton search is actually pretty complicated in terms of when to use transcendence or not. Okay, let's talk about your positioning. Probably the worst part of your game right now. That's the thing that needs the most attention. I need you to be further back from your teammates. I'm a Zenyatta main, so if you can watch some of my videos, one called, I think it's called like Never Go Full Flank Yatta, and then one that talks about spacing. I think it's called Top 500 Zenyatta Spacing or something like that. Watch those videos. It'll give you a good idea of like how to just stay, like what distance to stay from your teammates, and it's going to give you better vision so that you can always be looking left and right, as opposed to doing like 180s to find like tracers and Genjis flanking you. Yeah, so definitely work on that. Just work on your spacing, and that will greatly elevate your gameplay. And keep up everything else. I think you're doing a pretty good job. I think you could easily, if you work on your spacing and your positioning, you could easily hit diamond, maybe even masters. So good luck to you. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. Thank you.